Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. How have you been? I have been doing well myself, and I am still in the middle of producing the next episode of my classical Chinese grammar tutorial series. But in the meantime, I thought it might be a good idea to accompany that series with a spin-off on the Chinese writing system, because, well, our grammatical knowledge would not be very useful if we can't read anything. So I have decided to learn some Chinese characters along the way between the episodes of the main series. These videos on characters are going to be short, each containing just 3 to 5 characters. I plan to go through all the radicals of the Chinese writing system, as well as all the characters classified by them. So this is going to be another long-term project. And as usual, I hope my sharing can help someone else in the world. So here's a quick introduction of this spin-off on Chinese characters. The textbook I use is Commentary on Explaining Graphs and Analyzing Characters, published in 1815 and written by Tuán Yük-Ts'âi. My goal is to gain a basic understanding of the Chinese writing system, and the format I'm going to adopt is as follows. I will mainly be learning the small seal script, and I will accompany each small seal character with its regularized form as well. For each character I learn, I also go through its pronunciation in both Old and Middle Chinese, respectively in Zhang Xiangfang's system and Bernard Cargren's system. A caveat here is that the comments we see in the book are just Tuán Yük-Ts'âi's own opinions, and we have to bear in mind that the analyses of many characters in that book remain controversial till today. So this is the first character in the book, which is also the first radical. And here's what it looks like. It's just a horizontal bar, and it just means 1. In the middle of the screen, I have copied and pasted the original text from the textbook. So here it is. And on the left-hand side, I have provided an English translation here. In addition, I have provided a handwritten version of the character here. I have written this by myself. And the pronunciation here in blue is from Old Chinese. And this other pronunciation in green is from Middle Chinese. And finally, this is the regularized form of the character. So, this character, pronounced Klieg, means the original ultimate unity, that is, the one, or the number 1 thing. The textbook says the way stands on top of the one, from it were derived the heaven and the earth, that is, the 2, and from these were derived everything. The textbook also says all characters related to 1 are written with this radical, 1. This is the second character, which looks like this, and I have written it by hand as well here. Its Old Chinese pronunciation is ngon, and its Middle Chinese pronunciation is nguyen. This is the regularized form of the character. This character means the origin, or the start, or the first, and it consists of 2 components. A semantic component, which I have indicated by the orange color here. And below the orange semantic component, there is a phonetic component. This part in black, it's pronounced as ngud. Okay? And according to Tuán, the commentator, these 2 characters, ngon and ngud, together form a level entering pair in Old Chinese pronunciation. Ngon here has the level tone, whereas ngud here has the entering tone. As we can see, the phonetic component of the character doesn't really have exactly the same pronunciation as the character itself, but only has a pronunciation that is similar enough so that it can function as a reminder. And here's the third character of the day. It looks like this, and the handwritten form is here. Its Old Chinese pronunciation is Klin, and its Middle Chinese pronunciation is Tian. And here is its regularized form. It means heaven. but the original meaning of the character is actually the topmost thing. The textbook further explains that it's the topmost thing in the sense that there's nothing higher than it, so that's what heaven is. This character has two semantic components, the first of which is just the one, so that indicates that this concept has to do with something that's really important, something that is the one. And its second semantic component is this character, which means big. And Tuán comments that the character that is used in the textbook to gloss this character, which reads Tian, means the top of a person's head. But in addition, it is also used to mean everything that is high in position. And since the textbook uses this character to gloss the character we're learning, it is telling us that this character is also used to refer to everything that is high in position. And this character is made up of a one and a big because there's nothing bigger than the heaven. So that is the number one big thing in the world. And this is the fourth character of the day. It's pronounced as pr in Old Chinese and as p in Middle Chinese. If we directly regularize this small seal character, it will become this. But the more popular form of the character in the regular script is actually this one, in gray. As usual, I have copied and pasted the original definition of the character in the textbook, together with part of Tuán's comment. The meaning of this character is very simple. It means big. And this is another phonosemantic character, which means that it has a semantic part and a phonetic part. Its semantic component is, again, the one, which indicates that the concept encoded in this character is pretty important. I have put the semantic component here in orange. The rest of the character here in black is the phonetic part. That's b. According to Tuán, this character that we learn in pr and its phonetic component b, pr and b used to have exactly the same pronunciation in Old Chinese. So as a result, the phonetic component b, this one, was often used as a rebus form of this character pr in ancient literature. This means that in places where pr should have been used, we often find b instead. And finally, this is the fifth and last character of the day, which is also the last character under the radical one. It's written like this, and here's my handwriting. It is pronounced as rus in Old Chinese and as li in Middle Chinese. Its directly regularized form is here, and its popular form is here, which is also the form used today. This character means the person who administers or rules others. Its semantic component is still the one with a capital O, which indicates that the concept in the character is an important one. And here I have again put the semantic component in orange to highlight it. What is special about this character is that its other semantic component is simultaneously a phonetic component, which is this black part in my handwriting. This semantic/phonetic component is pronounced as sru, so that's close enough to the pronunciation of the character we're learning, rus, sru, rus. They sound similar enough. The meaning of sru is official historian, so that's someone working in the government as well. And according to Tuán, the sru is the person who records things, so that's the official historian. So the possible logic behind this character rus is that an official or an administrator is an important official historian who keeps records of things. Okay, those are the 5 characters of the day. So here's a quick review of the 5 characters we have learned. Here's the first character, klig, which means one. Here's the second character, ngon, which consists of the radical, the one, and a phonetic component, ngud. So basically, the form of the character says that the concept it encodes is an important one, and the sound of the character is similar to ngud. And those 2 pieces of information are enough to help people recall the exact sound and meaning of the character, ngon and origin. Here's the third character we have learned today, which is pronounced as kling, and which means the heaven or the sky. It consists of the radical 1 or number 1 and another semantic component, which means big. That is, the heaven or the sky is the number 1 big thing. The fourth character, pr, means grand or big or great. Here is the same radical, the 1, which means that this character also encodes some important concept. And this black component reminds people that its pronunciation is similar to that of bu. So this denotes something important that sounds like bu. Finally, this is the fifth character of the day, which is pronounced as rus and has the meaning official or administrator. Its radical is again 1, and its secondary semantic component is this black component, which means an official historian. So overall, the form of this character means something like a very important official historian or a very important person in the government, that is an official administrator. Okay, so these are the 5 characters I have learned today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.